It's important that you learn to express yourself in the classroom. This involves sharing your thoughts, your feelings, and opinions with the class. For some people, this is easy. They always get involved. In many classrooms, it's common for a small number of students to answer most, if not all, of the questions, which is good for them, but it's not good for the rest of the class. Whilst you might prefer to observe and listen to others, which of course is important, it's also imperative that you also express what you are thinking. There are 4 main reasons for this. Firstly, it provides the teacher with information about what to do next with the learning. If they know what you are thinking, they can tailor the learning to your needs. Secondly, there is scientific evidence to suggest that answers you have produced yourself are more memorable than if they have been provided for you. So by expressing your own answers, you're going to learn more. Thirdly, it enables you to practice your communication skills. It's quite a hard skill to explain your thoughts and ideas clearly to the class, but the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Finally, it helps you to become more engaged and thoughtful. When we are just listening, it's easy to switch off. So let's learn how to express ourselves in lessons. Here are 10 terrific tips to help you with this key learning skill. Tip 1. Greet people in the morning when you arrive for school. No matter how tired you are, begin your school day by greeting your friends, classmates, and teachers. Not only is it the respectful thing to do, it encourages you to be more extroverted. It gets your day started with a positive mindset. Tip 2. Share with your friends and teachers news about what you've been doing away from school. The more people know about you, the more they're able to connect with you. Sharing what you do away from school enables people to get to know you better. You will have more to talk about. You might discover some common interests, and perhaps it will lead to you doing things with your classmates away from school, which is important in cementing those friendships. Tip 3. Make some eye contact when you speak with others. Eye contact is important for a number of reasons. Firstly, it keeps people interested and engaged. It encourages them to listen carefully to what you are saying. It enables you to read the facial expressions of the listeners, allowing you to gauge whether you have been understood and your message accepted. Finally, it shows other people that you are confident. Tip 4. Answer questions in class. Sometimes we don't answer questions in class because we're not sure whether what we're going to say is right or has value. Other times, we don't answer questions because the answer seems too easy, and we'd prefer to leave that answer to others. Either way, you're missing out on an opportunity to get involved in the discussion. Also, remember all answers have value for the teacher and the class. Right answers might help the lesson flow, but it's the unexpected answers that help the most with learning. Why not keep a tally of the number of questions you answer during the school day? Whilst you may often put your hand up and not be called upon, try to beat your personal best each day. Tip 5. Speak loud enough to be heard. If people cannot hear what you're saying, they can't engage with you. If you frequently have people saying pardon to you, learn to project your voice more. When answering questions or giving opinions in class, remember, it's not only important that the teacher hears you, the entire class needs to hear you too. So turn that volume up. Tip 6. Show respect by using polite phrases when you speak. It's not only important what you say, it's also important how you say it. People are more receptive to information that is presented politely and respectfully. If you are rude, no matter how much sense you are making, the message is often ignored. So be polite. Get into the habit of using those respectful phrases. Tip 7. Take time to consider what you're going to say. In your next class discussion, watch to see how quickly hands go up as soon as your teacher asks a question. Those are the hands of students who have done fast thinking instead of deep thinking. Yes, with some questions there is just one answer, but for most questions there is a wide range of possibilities. Fast thinking provides you with quick, impulsive, instinctive, and often emotional answers. Deep thinking is slower, more deliberate, more rational, and more enlightened. So when your teacher asks questions in class, avoid competing with the other students to get your hand up the fastest. Instead, give the question some deeper thought before raising your hand. And bear in mind that teachers often don't pick the first hand that goes up. Tip 8. Speak clearly and at an appropriate pace. Some of us can get a little excited when we are talking, and in our enthusiasm to share what we want to say, we end up speaking too quickly. Whilst it's important to vary your speaking pace to help make what you're saying more engaging, in general, when sharing information in class discussions, speak slower than normal. Listen to how your teacher delivers their lesson inputs. They will often use quite a slow pace and use plenty of pauses to ensure everyone is able to pick up what they are saying. Tip 9. Use the word because to explain your ideas and opinions in more detail. Whilst it's interesting to know what your opinion is on a specific topic, it's more interesting to know why you think this. So whenever you express an opinion, get into the habit of using the word because afterwards and give your listener more detail. This is especially important when you're trying to persuade someone to agree with your point of view. Tip 10. Use gestures to help explain what you are saying. Hand gestures play an important role in communication. When we were toddlers, we'd often use hand gestures to get what we wanted. When we go to a foreign country and can't speak the language, we often end up using hand gestures to help us communicate. But even if we are extremely competent in a language, we still use hand gestures to help reinforce the message we are communicating.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept.
Imagine how difficult it would be to make a speech while sitting on your hands. Scientific studies have shown people are less fluent, less creative, and speak for less time when they don't use hand gestures when speaking. Hand gestures results in people being more engaging and using a wider variety of words. So put simply, hand gestures help you to express yourself better. So there you go! You now have 10 terrific tips that will help you to get more involved in lessons. Start expressing yourself in every lesson.